Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Oh, God. We should have done the thing where we start with the red and then it fades in. Yeah. Welcome to BitBoy. Oh. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the Darth Vader of the cryptoverse. Guys, we will be heading into the cryptoverse here a little bit later, talk about some Benjamin Cowen comments, which I like Benjamin for sure. I love Benjamin Cowen. He's a great guy. You know, he actually, you know what he did for me? He created a YouTube data science model that shows all the channels. And even though our numbers are dramatically down, we're still outperforming, relatively almost all the other channels. He showed it to me. So I was very, thanks for that, Benjamin. We're going to talk about his lengthening cycle theory and why he says, looks like it's over. But guys, welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad. Well, it's the People's Channel, of course. Mm-hmm. Home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. Guys, this is one of those days, am I right? I want to say this. Well, my name is Ben. We come to you live every single day, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is Monday, May 9th. I want you guys to know something. The price of Bitcoin is cratering right now. Absolutely cratering. And I feel great. I feel great about where this market is. I feel great about where things are heading. Guys, I'm so comfortable with this bear market at this point. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Allison. Allison with the 30 code. Allison, ladies and gentlemen, clap. Thanks.
Wait.
Hey, Allison. There she is.
I got an applause now.
She's big on the camera. She loves the camera.
Hey, look, your cup matches the background.
It does, doesn't it? Ooh, scary stuff. Guys, I feel great about where this is. And, man, so many of you guys complain, said, man, I wish I got it in 2019 or 2020. You are going to get that opportunity. And I think now that we plunged to $32,100, it is only a matter of time before we go further. There is a great chance that we rebound from here. We go back to 35, 36. This is how a bear market happens. It doesn't happen in one fatal swoop. It would be nice if Bitcoin dropped down to 24,000 overnight and went back up to, do you remember when it did that? It did that in January of last year. It went from like 33,000 all the way down to 24 and bounced back up. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't even know it happened. It happened so quick. By the time you woke up in the morning, it already occurred. That'd be great. That's not what you get in a bear market. There is pain that happens in a bear market. And a lot of the pain is in the amount of time that it takes. And you know what? We are certainly going to be here with you guys. And, my sister-in-law who works for me, she does, a lot of our clipping. She runs the BitBoy Bits channel. Shout out to Ashley. We love Ashley. She made a comment that I thought was so funny to me. Yesterday, we were having a little Mother's Day event, shout out to all the moms. And she said, it made her so angry thinking about last year when I was on Crypto Banner. We like Rand. Don't want to say anything bad about Rand. We like Kyle Chassé, who was also on the show that day. I can't remember who else was on there, but there were several people on there. And when I said that we would see a traditional bear market for Bitcoin in 2022 and 2023, they laughed me out of the room. I was the only person on that stream who said, guys, we're going to see Bitcoin go down. The comments were constantly this. And, Michael Saylor also laughed at me from saying that there would be a bear market. Adoption, guys. Too much adoption. There's too much adoption out there. We'll never see Bitcoin go down again. Guys, I will say it until I am blue in the face. Bitcoin is based on a 4-year cycle. And when you try to discount the power of cutting the production of Bitcoin in half every 4 years, you are diminishing the value of supply and demand, the tokenomics that makes Bitcoin work. It's the fundamental reason the price goes up. Go track the halvings. Bitcoin all of a sudden is not like, oh, now it's way more valuable or it's just way less valuable today. No, that 4-year cycle puts Bitcoin on a constant overvalued, undervalued track because the miners drive so much what happens here in the background. And so, look, do I want lengthening cycles to be correct? Do I want Bitcoin to go to all-time highs? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love for all that stuff to be true. But unfortunately, I have heard too many people say over the last 10 years, this time it's different. And it's not different. It has not been different yet. It has not been different yet. The only thing different was we didn't get as high as we thought we would get. But we know diminishing returns, which is another one of Benjamin Cowen's things, which is correct for sure. The diminishing returns were much deeper than we thought they would be over this last cycle. So, guys, if you enjoy all the content we make, all the Bitcoin cycles talk that we do, trying to lead you guys in the right direction, make sure to smash that like button. It's the number one thing you can do as a member of the Bit Squad. Go back up. Some idiot in the chat.
Well, real quick, too.
The guy said, now he's talking about 4-year cycles. I've never veered away from 4-year cycles, you idiot douche. Get out of my face. You have not watched a single second of this channel for the last year to 2 years. We were wrong on the number. We were dead right on the time.
Yeah.
Dead right on the time. We said between September 28th and Thanksgiving. We said that for 2 years, which, by the way, we nailed the new Bitcoin all-time high by 7 days, and I predicted it almost 2 years in advance. The 4-year cycle is the most reliable thing we've ever seen. And I made a tweet about this yesterday. I am so tired of people bad-mouthing this channel and bad-mouthing me for getting the price of Bitcoin wrong and the XRP case wrong. Those are the two things we got wrong, and that's all anybody wants coming here on this chat. Why do you think we became the biggest channel? You think it's because I'm good-looking? Is that what you think it is? We made more millionaires on this channel than any other channel in the history of this planet has done. And I guarantee you that that is true. And you know what we're going to do? The people that are watching here right now that aren't, we're going to make you a millionaire too over the next 4 years, because you get unbiased information on this channel that we go back and we look at the history, and the history has never steered us wrong. So if you want to make absolutely ignorant statements about what this channel is about, then just go, because you're one of the haters. Trust me, there are tons of people in this chat that have became millionaires that are watching this channel from 2019 and on. And we will do it again. And that's the thing I'm the most proud of. I'll never forget when Jacob Canfield told me about how he made 30 millionaires in his chiropractic office in 2016 when he got him to buy the Ethereum ICO. And I said, how cool would that be to make 30 millionaires in one place? 30 is a drop in the bucket to what we've done. And we're going to do more. And the people that watch this channel know that. The hate, the meme culture that exists out there about the two things we got wrong, which, by the way, who out there, name the people that said Bitcoin was not going to go to $100,000 last year. Go name those YouTubers. Blockchain Backer called the top. Great for him. We love Blockchain Backer. He nailed the top. Nailed it. But his theory about an imminent altcoin season didn't come through. Nobody's correct on everything, guys. But I guarantee you, I put our wins against any other channel any day of the week.
Yeah, and that was one thing while you were noting things that are different this time than last time. One other thing that has changed is we didn't fall for the it's different this time. We made different decisions this time.
Yeah.
In 2018, 2019, we bought it hook, line, and sinker and thought mass adoption was too strong. Price can't go back down.
We did all that.
And we learned. And here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. We did all that stuff. And that's why we know the idea that it's different this time. You got to throw that out of your brain. It's different this time. Because, look, we're going to give you some scenarios over this next year. Like, there's a scenario where it could be different, where the ETH Emerge, a once-in-a-lifetime event, changes the core. Are we changing it?
I'm trying to get it orange.
Okay. Where the ETH Emerge, which is a one-time only event, can change the market cycle potentially. But we're going to tell you with a disclaimer every time, look, this is a possibility, but even this may not be strong enough. You cannot discount the power of the Bitcoin halving. And I am so shocked how many people do not even know what this is. Do not even know what a Bitcoin cycle is. Do not even know what the Bitcoin halving is. If you do not know what the Bitcoin halving is and what its effect on this market has been since the beginning of Bitcoin, that is the number one thing you need to do. Stop what you're doing and go look up the Bitcoin halving, and you need to understand it. Imagine if every 4 years, the amount of gasoline that we received in the United States, the amount of oil for gasoline was cut in half. How valuable would that remaining oil and remaining gasoline be? We've never seen an asset in history with these kinds of tokenomics. And this is what drives the price of Bitcoin. Nothing else. Adoption, utility, mainstream, institution, none of that drives the price of Bitcoin. All that does is it helps stair step it up into what it was already going to be. You're looking for the catalyst. Without the tokenomics of Bitcoin, institutions are not interested in it. That's what you have to understand. So, all right, let's see. Claiming 4-year cycle while we are actively going into a recession seems misguided. Once again, ignorant statement. 2018, stock market was crushing it. Bitcoin dropping. Why? 4-year cycle remains the same regardless of all the things that are on the outside. People love to point to the SPY and the NASDAQ right now and say, look how correlated they are. Yes, they are correlated because coincidentally at the end of the Bitcoin 4-year cycle as we head into a bear market, the stock market also is going into recession. This is a temporary event. We are not going to see Bitcoin and the crypto market stay attached to the stock market forever. When stock market bottoms and Bitcoin bottoms, which will probably be sometime around the same time, the end of this year, I believe, or quarter 1 next year, we're going to see Bitcoin way outperform and break that correlation. What were you going to say?
I was going to say earlier when somebody in the basement said they looked up your birth certificate and can confirm your name is Ben 4-year cycle Armstrong.
Ben 4-year cycle Armstrong.
And they also
right.
suggested...
We have preached this.
Yeah. They also suggested we switch the YouTube in the basement chat because they say their chats are way better.
Oh, yeah. Well, the basement people are all supportive.
I know.
They're all great chats. And some of our smartest people are over there in the basement. You don't get a lot of the negativity or a lot of the ignorant statements. Now, and I don't want to say I want to be very careful. Like when I say idiots and low IQ people, there are people that are saying things that are negative. When somebody says, oh, I think it's misguided to say this because we're going into a recession, that's not low IQ. I mean, that's common sense that you would think that. I'm pointing out why that's wrong. But some of the chats are just idiotic. So some of them are. And I don't put up with the hater comments. You guys know that at this point. Yeah. But we love people in the basement. And the basement, by the way, is not a separate thing. It's Twitch.
Yeah, it's Twitch.
So a lot of people think like, oh, it's a separate YouTube chat. No, it's Twitch. You go watch us on Twitch. You can get it in the basement. It's some of our best folks over there. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. If you like the shirt, by the way, you can check out hipmerch.com. Get premium quality gear here. We got a lot of really cool stuff. We got a hoodie in this as well. Don't forget to follow BitBoy_crypto here on Twitter. You get some of my great tweets about all kinds of different things. Hate to hear about Crypto Rick passing, which, by the way, is not the same thing as the YouTuber Crypto Rick. This is a guy who I met, first person I ever talked to from Crypto Twitter at a crypto conference. He was a great guy, always really, really nice, really enjoyed that. Made a thread about, kind of where we went wrong at the end of last year, but things that we were dead right. Plenty of other things we were dead right on. We nailed the Ethereum all-time high by, I think, 3 or 4 days as well. We nailed a lot, all based on the Bitcoin cycles, and we're going back to what works. Big Bitcoin cycles video coming up this weekend. We had an error on it for this previous weekend, so that's why it didn't go out. But I also wanted to point out here on Twitter, Mark Cuban made this thread. Crypto is going through the lull the internet went through after the initial surge of exciting apps, NFTs, DeFi, P2 play to earn. We saw the imitation phase as change subsidized the movement of those apps to their change. What we've not seen is the use of smart contracts to improve business productivity and profitability. That will be the next driver. When business can use smart contracts to gain a competitive advantage, they will. Change that realizes will survive. The change that copy what everyone else does will fail. We don't need NFTs or DeFi on every chain. We don't need bridges to move NFTs between chains. We need smart contract apps replacing SaaS. What is that? Software as a service apps?
Yep.
The one thing I disagree with him here is we don't need bridges to move NFTs between chains. I do believe we need that. Everything else, I totally agree with. But listen to what he's saying here, really. What is he saying? He's saying this is .com bubble.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's saying. Guys, we don't need any more layer ones. If you are actively trying to develop a layer one platform at this point, you're doing it wrong. The winners are already the winners. Now, we don't know what the peak winners are going to be. Ethereum, I believe, number one. We don't know who 2, 3, 4 are. We don't know who 5, 6, 7. We don't know what the top 10 is ultimately going to look like there. But we don't need more layer ones. At this point, we need more development on top of the chains and on the smart contracts. And that's really what Mark Cuban is saying. Do have to say, I do agree with that. So moving on, looking at wow, look at this, under 1.5 trillion now. We're at 1.47 trillion. I mean, I think it's definitely possible that, we approach 1.1, 1.2 trillion. I don't think we'll go below 1 trillion.
You don't.
I don't. The peak of the last cycle was 900 billion.
Yeah.
So I think 1.1, 1.2 could be somewhere where we do get.
You think that's like, if you want to just loosely convert that to a price, you think that's mid 20s?
22, 23,
yeah, low 20s,
24 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, 24 is a number I really think is possible for sure. We go back, we look, it did get to about 1.3 trillion, and I do think we're going to make a new low. So
see, I could see it getting down to that 1.2 or 1.1 and hanging out there for a while, maybe ranging, maybe bouncing between 1.1 and 1.3, and then we still get that quick kind of overnight thing you were talking about where it might flash down briefly and come right back.
Well, here's the thing, guys. A lot of you guys you want that quick flash.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a while, guys. I want to come on here, and I said this during the bull market. I said, look, when bear market comes, and it's 2022, it's 2023, and you're going to see a different side of me, because obviously the side that blew up in 2020 was when things were heading in the positive direction. 2018, 2019, nobody was really watching crypto stuff, but especially not watching this channel. And, I knew once we hit peaks, this was going to turn into a very bearish channel, because we're a reality channel. We tell you where things are. We're not just trying to fill you up with hopium. There are so many other channels out there. And look, I love these other channels. You guys know we bring them on around the blockchain. We bring them on the live stream. Love other people. But there's some people, they can only give you the bullish stuff. They can only tell you the price is going to go up because it's good for their channel. We're not going to do that. We're going to give you the realistic view, because the realistic view is what's going to lead you to make the best possible financial decisions once we're near the bottom of the market, that sets you up to become that millionaire, that sets you up for that retirement, sets you up to buy that house or that car or that boat or whatever the case may be that you want. So, this is going to be our reality for several months, and we're going to talk about, it's time that we start talking about timelines. That's what really we want to start focusing on our weekend videos for you guys, is timelines for what does accumulation look like? When could we be looking at new all-time highs? When will we be looking at bottoms? And I think we've got that narrowed down. I think I know pretty well when we should approximately see the bottom. The one, wild hair is that ETH merge that could shake things up. So we're going to try to give you all that information over the next several weeks. And this is information you can take if you're newer, if you're at a loss, if you bought at all-time highs. This is the information that you have to take on in order to get yourself to the next level. You have to listen during these times, because if not, all of a sudden you'll look up, how many people, TJ, did you have texted you and say during the bull run, say, oh man, like I wish I would have listened to you.
Yeah.
How many?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, everybody in my family's in crypto now.
Yeah.
So they got in a little bit later than I wish they would have, but
and that's what I like better, are the texts that say, I'm so glad I listened to you.
Absolutely.
I have way more money now than I thought I would have in 10 or 15 years, not 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So
somebody said, who else is losing on AMP because of this guy? What are you up on? What are you up on? What coin did you buy that you're winning? What channel told you to buy a coin that you're winning on? These are the kind of low IQ things I can't take. I can't take comments like this. Name any altcoin, switch that out with AMP, and you're down. What coin are you up on? Zero. The market is down 50%. 50%. Altcoins, some are already down 80%. And if you think 90% is a lot, on average, they go down 95%. I'll tell you this, there's a huge difference in price between 90 and 95%. You're like, oh, it's just 90 to 95. Oh, no. 97, 98% is around the corner for some of these. So, yeah, wish you would have sold the top. Wish we all would have sold the top. But you can't cherry pick and put a coin in here and say, oh, this was a great coin. What coin? Yeah, GMT. People saying Steppen. Yeah, Steppen, great. It wasn't around in the bull market. So, anyways. All right, here we go. 24-hour volume up pretty significantly, 123 billion. We did just step back up, a little closer to 1.48 trillion. Bitcoin dominance down pretty considerably, 41.6%. This is interesting. We've got Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance down right now. What is picking up? What is
Stablecoins?
Stablecoins. Good call. 77 Paraguays will send you an ETH transaction. All right, looking at the price, we got Bitcoin coming in 32.3. Man, 4 years ago, we would have been thrilled about this.
That's my new favorite crypto meme or Bitcoin meme, when it's like Bitcoiners $30,000 in 2020 and everybody's euphoric and freaking out. Bitcoiners, Bitcoin $30,000 2022, everybody's crying, panicked. Yeah.
Merrick Frantic says, Ben, you really nailed the prediction for all-time high in December 2020, which we called at the end of 2018. Can you make a prediction? When will Bitcoin reach new all-time highs after the next halving? We are working on that. We are in the lab putting that stuff together as we speak. We will have probably this week, we're going to map out bear market for you guys, what that looks like. And then maybe next week, we will look at all-time highs and when we think things will be heading back up. And look, these are not exact sciences. I never said these things would occur on the date, but we got pretty dang close. You know, like I know the September 28th day was when everybody jumped on. That's the approximate date.
You did say give or take 2 weeks.
I did say give or take 2 weeks. It ended up being give or take 5 weeks. Okay. But we said the overall market would top out and head down in between Halloween and Thanksgiving. We said that for 2 years. Nailed that as well. So Ben is my favorite teacher. Well, thank you. I hope to win Teacher of the Year 1 year. Look at Ethereum, 23.78. No longer holding that 25. XRP down to 52 cents. I think this is going down to 35 or 40 cents probably. Solana, $70. I mean, everything's getting murdered today. Cardano, 65 cents. I know some people that were saying they were going to buy it 70 cents, and then it pumped up. So let's see here. Dogecoin getting crushed. Everything getting crushed today. Are there any winners? Are there any winners in the market? Waves up for the week, but man, that thing, here's what's so funny, okay? Like you look at this and you're like, man, that looks so cool. I wish I was in waves. That's up 11%. Well, let's look at the waves chart. Let's look at the 3 months. Wow.
Wait.
Yeah, guys, that's not, it doesn't feel super good if you've been in it for a while. Near protocol up, down for the week, though. Let's look at the biggest losers of the day. Polkadot, Algorand, Sheep. Crypto's Chain, it's Crypto's Chain with a K. He reached out to me over the week. He's like, hey, he's big on Polkadot. He loves Polkadot, Kusama, the whole ecosystem. He's like, man, can I come on your channel and do an interview where we talk about Polkadot? I said, no. Like, to be honest, it's just not the kind of content we want to be doing right now. Like, Polkadot's not sexy right now. It's a big number one loser. People right now, and I don't think it's just a reflection of what people are interested in. I think right now, guys, your biggest focus should be on Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. That's your biggest focus right now. You're going to be watching these prices and seeing they're going to dictate the rest of the market. It's not a great time to get in altcoins right now. Dollar cost average is fine. We talked about that yesterday on the phone record video. Dollar cost averaging is fine, but it's not a good time to be really moving around money to get in the newest, hottest altcoin, or, hey, Polkadot's going to be really moving with interoperability. Let me jump into it right now. No. When it's time to do those videos, we'll do those videos, but it is not time right now. So if you are interested in Polkadot, go check out Crypto's Chain channel. He's a great guy. He's been around in the space for a while. Algorand up for the week, but down for the, down. Tron finally taking a big hit, down 12%. Justin Sun reached out, wants to come on the channel. Wow.
Did he really?
I said no. I said who wants to talk about Tron? Frank, you want to come up? Frankie Candles is coming on here.
Candle. Boy.
And don't forget, let's
Frank,
pull up.
Can you open that? Yeah, thanks.
FrankieCandles.com. You guys don't forget to check out FrankieCandles.com. If you guys want to check out, you want to sign up for FEMEX, KuCoin, BitLab Academy, check out some of his YouTube videos. You can do that. And here he is, Frank, the Candle Man.
What is going on, guys? Hope you're having a wonderful Monday as Bitcoin continues to slip. But
other way. There you go.
Boom. There we go. Right in the center.
Boom.
Guys, we got a lot of good stuff to look at today. Actually going to be showing a couple of trades, actually, as actually got to refresh this page. But yeah, we're going to check in on a couple of trades, and I'm currently in a couple of shorts that are up quite a bit here. So we'll take a look at those. Then we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. What is going on? How low can we go? right? You know, I know we've gone over this a few times on this stream where we kind of go back and I kind of give you my ideas of how low I think we can go. There's a wild bit boy in the background. There he is. Oh God.
Oh, he can't. There we go.
And he's gone. And he's gone.
Magic.
But yeah, I mean, realistically, I do think that, you know, for me personally, I think in the mid to low 20s is where we could bottom out. Now, I don't know if we're going to go all the way down to 20. I see that as the less likely situation. But I mean, 25, 24, 23, looking pretty realistic, in my opinion. We are actually, you know, when we take a look at the charts here in just a second, we are hitting price targets, you know, that felt really far away, to the downside in the recent past. And now it's like, you know, that golden pocket at about 28K is not looking that far away at this point. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in, check on these trades a little bit. So we got two shorts open here, one on Bitcoin, one on Ethereum, up about 80% on the ETH trade, up about 68% on the Bitcoin trade. So looking pretty good. Stop loss is at the entry at this moment. Actually, probably once we hop off the stream, probably going to move them stop loss into profit. So they're risk-free trades at this point. Pretty soon going to be confirmed winning trades no matter what happens as soon as we hop off here. So a nice 68%er and a nice 80%er, guys. Again, if you want to sign up to long or short Bitcoin, because you can make money as Bitcoin is going down, clearly, right? Everybody's crying. Everybody's scared. The price is going down. And us traders out here are making money off of it. So if you guys want to sign up to long or short Bitcoin, go check out frankiecandles.com. Femex is my preferred leverage exchange, or, you know, favorite place to short Bitcoin. However, this is actually KuCoin, but you know, Femex is usually my go-to. These trades just happen to be on KuCoin. But let's go ahead and jump into the charts here, guys. Oh my God. Oh boy, I tell you guys, those yellow X's do not lie. Those yellow X's, especially on a time frame like the 4 hour. I mean, these things are money all day long. Guys, listen, at this point, we're finding price targets and we're hitting them, you know, time after time, right? We had the 786 fib level. I was saying, keep an eye on this. We haven't come down to test it. Dropped right down, hung out, you know, got snagged on it just a little bit and then hung down below it. And now we drop down to our second target, which I believe we did actually get a small bounce off of at about 33,650, right? And then our next level, we just kissed, you know, basically to the dollar right there at about 32K even. I was going to come on here and be like, hey, guys, next level of support, probably going to be about 32K even, but we've already hit it and started to bounce off of it. But, you know, just taking a look here, starting off, we'll go to the weekly. You know, I know Ben was talking about, you know, trying to talk about timelines a little bit. You know, when can we see a bottom? When can we see a top? Now, obviously, these things are very hard to call accurately, but, you know, you could estimate, you know, in 2017, if you're just looking at the red money flow waves on the weekly chart here, you know, you crossed into the red about here. And then let me just bring this down a little bit so we can see.
Just had an epiphany, Frank. Finished, but now I got to get to my epiphany. I just had an epiphany.
Okay. All right. We got an epiphany on deck here. So it was about 56 days to the bottom. You know, if you extrapolate that data onto the current price action. Now in 2013, 2014, it was a little longer at about 80 something days. So you got 80 something days, 50 something days. Maybe it's 40 something days, you know, for this cycle. But if we just measure that out from the money flow crossover, I mean, we're pretty close. Guys, I'll be honest. I think that we could possibly bottom out in a month or two here. So, you know, maybe.
Well,
summer.
we do have the idea that some people have, which is that I know from a price perspective it doesn't make sense, but that the bear market actually started when retail left in May. Which, if that were the case, traditionally Bitcoin bottoms about 1 year after the top. You could make an argument for a May bottom. I think you can make that argument. But, you know, here's the epiphany I had. If you pull back the chart, what percentage was the all-time high from the previous all-time high?
From the
double hump.
From here to there?
Yeah, what is the percentage from 64,000 to 69? What is that measurement?
So if we go...
From the peak.
Let's go magnetic so we get an exact measurement here. So absolute... a wick peak to wick peak. It's an industry term, guys. Wick peak. About 6%.
Okay, now measure 6% down from the bottom of the May crash.
6% down from the bottom.
I think that'll put us right at the bottom of that pocket.
Let me just make sure we get accurate here.
No, that's not important, Frank.
See,
Just put it at the bottom of the pocket.
what is about 6%?
Can you drag it over?
About, yeah, we can't see.
We
it.
can't
Oh yeah,
see.
let me just.
Other way. There we go.
So yeah, so if you
about
pull it
that?
from the bottom of this wick to the bottom of the golden pocket, about 6%.
Well, because let me tell you what I can kind of see developing here as I'm looking at the chart. You know, I look at a lot of charts for Bitcoin over the years, and you try to look for distinct patterns or shapes that you see in this. And when it comes to this, when you pull up the chart and you look at the double hump, you could almost see like an inverse shaping to where we get a bottom, and instead of getting the dramatic bear market bottom we've traditionally seen, we get an incremental bottom, just like we got an incremental top. And that's something really interesting. And what is the bottom of that golden pocket? About 27?
Bottom of the golden pocket is at about 26, 6, 27.
20. That's
27.
about, you know, it's interesting. When we did our research for our videos coming out this week, and I think 26.6 was almost exactly what it looked like we were going to put the bottom at. That's very fascinating.
Yeah, I would agree. And I love when you look at numbers like this, like you said, like even just seeing patterns on the chart or just seeing things, you look at charts long enough, you find these things like, let me measure this out. This would be really interesting if this lines up like we just did. And then you see it lines up and you're like, very, very, very interesting. And then also something to your point here about saying that we could have started our bear market at the first peak.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. Because if you look at something like the RSI on this second top here, I kind of feel, you know, in my own personal opinion, this second top, it was kind of just a fluke that it went higher.
ETF? Well, it was the ETF news is what sent it up there.
And it is interesting that we went a little higher. I do think this is somewhat of, you know, because if you look down at the RSI, right, we have a way oversold when we're getting close to this peak, this first peak. But then that second peak, right, which was technically the all-time high for Bitcoin in this cycle, and the RSI is barely oversold.
Yeah.
So I think that does make sense that we could have started our bear market down here. So yeah, very, very, very interesting stuff. I do agree with that. But essentially, guys, as far as price targets here, you know, like I said, I was going to bring up this 32K even line, but we actually came down pretty quickly. I mean, at this point, can we get little bumps on the way down? Sure, maybe. At this point, the next real level of support is going to be these summer lows, this golden pocket at about 28, 29K. That's really our next level of support. And then when we get down there, we'll have to assess the situation. But it is looking likely that we're going to hit this, you know, this level. I think it's been imminent for a while now. You know, we've already touched this area twice. We have not touched it. You know, we have not come back to retest this for a third time. So we'll have to assess the situation when we get down there. But I do think that we could potentially bottom within, you know, in the summer, right? You know, within a couple of months, maybe 2-3 months, I think we could see a bottom. And, you know, there's a million things you can measure out on the charts that also just kind of, you know, point to that as well. So I'm not just making that number up, although I do have limited time here. But let's just
Can I get your thoughts on a comment that I saw here?
Yes.
It said, for the past 5 months, I've been saying we're still in a bull market. Can I get comments on that from you?
Listen, I could be wrong, but this is not a bull market, in my personal opinion. I know that
they said that's what I've been saying for the past 5 months.
Saying.
The comment was, for the past 5 months, I've been telling everyone we're still in a bull market. Thoughts on that?
I'm pretty sure that we've been saying.
Have you
I've been
watched
getting
this?
hated on for saying it's a bear market.
I know.
You've been
They call me
hated.
Bear Boy now.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You can't.
Just because I'm a little overweight and I have a beard. Sorry.
We need to get you a T-shirt that says "I'm a bear."
But yeah,
I'm not
right.
wearing that T-shirt. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's really you can't win, right? A couple weeks ago, we were talking about the weekly blood diamond. We were talking about, hey guys, it's not looking good, and that was the first time in my short YouTube career that I had some real haters come after me, like, you idiot.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You think the
Unbelievable.
blood diamond's just going to bring us down? And it's because, you know, a day after the blood diamond showed up, we didn't go to zero, so they thought it was invalidated. And I told them it takes time to play out, and they hated on me. But here we are. Listen, I'm just glad I didn't. I'm glad that we stuck to our guns, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to.
I've been saying this was probably a bear market since February.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear here.
Yes.
For February. Go find a place. There was a time around the Bitcoin conference where I said, we might be leaning maybe 55% bull, 45% bear, maybe 60%, but I still said still feels very considerable chance like we were in a bear. That was the closest I ever got to saying anything bullish since February.
Yeah. And the other thing is, too, is like people get mad when you change your mind.
When you get new information.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. You get new information. You have to take it into consideration. I say this on my channel all the time. I could sit up here and just be like, hey, guys, we're going up eventually. We're going up eventually, but it's not beneficial to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we get new information, we have to be able to change our mind. That's part of the game. So don't hate on
Can
people.
you do us a favor? Nick Damonti sent me a text here. Can you pull up the UST chart?
Oh, we're gonna look at the Tether stuff.
No. UST, it's Terra.
Terra.
The Terra stablecoin.
Yeah. I was wondering
Nick,
if we were
Nick is saying that it's fallen off its peg and it's been for several hours.
Yeah, they were talking about this over the weekend.
Were they?
There was
That's not good.
huge selling from the reserve account and all that stuff. All kinds of ETH, all kinds of Bitcoin, all kinds of Terra being sold.
Wow.
Because this is the problem. This is what a lot of people were saying. Like, it's great to hold Bitcoin in that treasury when it's going up, but if it's going down, it works against you.
Yeah, those are some pretty big drips there.
Yeah. So and if you look, it almost looks like people are trying to push it off its peg.
Yeah.
Because when they broke down, at least what I was looking at over the weekend, they were breaking down the wallet selling. 67% was sold from one wallet, apparently. So that wallet is intentionally trying to break the peg. But yeah, it's definitely off it. 98. Wow. It's not good.
Printing a possible bullish divergence on the 4-hour though.
somebody in the comments. We got to move on, Frank.
Okay.
Somebody in the comments said my biggest mistake last year was talking about sources telling me stuff instead of stuff that we knew to stick to, and I agree 100%.
I agree.
100%.
Well, guys, back to Ben. Bing bong. DXY is actually going up though, so
100%. I agree with that. That's I made a whole thread about that yesterday. That was a big mistake that I made on this channel. So really apologize about that, and it will never happen again for sure. I'm smarter than everybody else. I think that's what I learned, and if I lean on other people's information, it's not as good. That was kind of a joke. Ben, all your early info videos were gold, and then. Okay, well, I say I have a bad ego. So, sorry, I do have a big ego. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's talk about Benjamin Cowen here. Here's Michael Saylor tweeting. Monday morning, it's time to get back to work.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one. We love Michael Saylor.
He's got a good social media person.
Let's see here. And where is... This is just more market stuff. We'll move on. Benjamin Cowen, lengthening cycles are dead. End of a great narrative. And I really want to... I want to be careful around this because I'm not the smartest person in the world, by the way. I see somebody say that. I want to be careful around this because I do like Benjamin, and I think what he came up with was great. I just disagreed with the way that he mapped out the cycles in the beginning. And when the price started dropping, and I said, no, we were going to be at all-time highs by the end of the year, and then we'd see a bear market this year, people, no way that's true. Benjamin Cowen says it's definitely going up, and which, by the way, every time he came on this channel, he never said it was definitely going to happen. He was very careful to say, this is a theory, it could play out. But I told you guys back then, and the same thing with blockchain backer, which blockchain backer has turned out to be correct, is that it's really easy to take a narrative or to take a theory that has to be proven in the future and say, oh, no, that's definitely right now. It's only when that theory or narrative gets pushed up against the wall that you know whether it's good or not. Just because Bitcoin went down at the end of last year and didn't hit 100,000, that didn't mean that it was definitely going to hit new all-time highs this year. And a lot of people, they fell into that trap of believing that. And I warned you guys against that when we talked about the approximate time the bull market should end. And then, of course, like December, we were not on, in December, we were just wrong. Like in December, we were just still sticking to it was going to hit 100K. When what we had talked about for 2 years had already came and passed, and we should have recognized that. Hard to recognize while you're in it. But Benjamin Cowen himself now is saying lengthening cycles theory is over. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Benjamin Cowen is one of the most popular analysts, commentators, and YouTubers in the crypto space. His Twitter profile has 636K. His YouTube channel's got 734K. His peculiar style of social media management is the lack of any income from YouTube ads or promotion of third-party services. But let's be fair, he has a paid subscription service. I believe it's a paid subscription service. Maybe I'm wrong on that, to his Into the Cryptoverse thing. Or maybe it's a newsletter. And then he also sells NFTs. So to be clear, nobody who's on YouTube is doing it for free. Everyone has a way that they're monetizing their channel. somewhere down the line. So once again, he doesn't do any of that stuff, but he's still making money on YouTube. Like, let's be clear about that. Everybody who has big accounts on YouTube makes money on YouTube. That's the point of spending years away slaving to build a business. You don't do it for free, right? He's been recording his videos in a room with 2 chairs, a cardboard desk, and a laptop camera for years, and highly critical approach has won him a huge fan base. One of the main hypotheses on which he built his popularity is a claim about Bitcoin's lengthening cycles. It assumes that there are cycles in the Bitcoin market consisting of accumulation, dynamic uptrend, and sharp decline. Successive cycles last longer. Successive cycles produce diminishing returns, which that one is true. I do agree with that. A long-term model of the Bitcoin market are bands of logarithmic regression, the upper border of which determines the peaks and the lower the bottoms. And I tell you, there is a thing out there with, the way that people talk. Benjamin Cowen sounds very smart.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds extremely smart. There's also, British people sound smarter than Americans, apparently, according to statistics as well. Which, when you're going to go get an actor, why you might want to go get a British guy, just throwing that out there. But the thing is when it comes to Benjamin Cowen, he sounds extremely smart because he is extremely smart. And I think that even though he never outright said, this is definitely true, stake everything you have on this, go all in and wait. He never said anything like that. People took it that way because he's so smart.
Well, it's that confirmation bias we were talking about the other day, too. They want it to be true so bad. They want to believe it so much. They're going to take it like the gospel, even though, like you said, he says, this is a theory. I'm not saying this is going to happen 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been an ardent proponent of this hypothesis since at least 2019. So, it stuck, it looked like it was going for a long time successfully. He had an interview with Plan B at some point. And Plan B with his stock to flow model, which was another model that we really stuck to and thought was going to be accurate, turned out also not to be true. Guys, things in crypto tend to change. And I think I do want to say, while the Bitcoin cycles have not changed at all, they have not changed. 4-year cycles have stuck to it every single time. Numbers are a little bit different, but in general, it's stuck to this pattern. Here's the pattern. Having 1.5 years of parabolic movement, 1 year dramatic pullback, 1.5 year slowward movement, having repeat. Okay. That's the 4-year cycle. That's how it works. Kind of like they set it up here. It's accumulation, dynamic uptrend, and sharp decline. Okay. One day, these 4-year cycles, that pattern, it is going to break. It is going to break one day. When is it going to be? We don't know when that's going to be. I do think there's a possibility that this ETH merge could be the thing that gets this off, because it could make it where Ethereum could lead the market and pull Bitcoin up for the first time. We've never seen that. We've seen Ethereum lead Bitcoin before, but we've never seen Ethereum pull the whole market up. And I think that is a possibility. So we could get something different this time. And I think the stock to flow model, the lengthening cycles, these eventually getting broken show that everything that gets broken. So while we've staked our flag in the ground of the 4-year cycle, and we believe it most likely is going to continue at least for another 8 to 12 years, there's a chance that it gets broken, and you got to look for those opportunities. But so far in the history of Bitcoin, if you've leaned onto the 4-year cycles, you've been correct. You have been correct. Unfortunately, on May 8th, the spell was broken. Creator and biggest proponent tweeted an equally brief but telling post. Bitcoin lengthening cycles is dead. Bear market has been here for months and will likely continue to rage, rage or range. Either one of those would work there. To range for a while. Let's hope this is a macro bottom signal. I don't think it is. And, Benjamin Cowen and I have always been we've really been very close with a lot of things that we've thought. The big difference was in the length of the cycles that we disagreed with. He said, even if we did hit a new all-time high before the next halving, it does not change the brutality of the current bear market, which, once again, the ETH merge could lead to something like that we've never seen before. The best case scenario is a super cycle for Bitcoin to where we hit all-time highs before the halving dramatically changes. We could see things go to the moon from there. But even if Bitcoin holds the summer lows, whatever comes after it would certainly feel like a new cycle. So this is a big moment. A lot of you guys were in my chat. Assassinating me for saying lengthening cycles were not going to be correct. I said it for months. Towards the end of the year, I certainly started hoping right? We start hoping because all of a sudden Bitcoin didn't get to where we wanted to be. We start hoping it would be different, but unfortunately it wasn't. And we see the same thing at this point that we've always seen. Diminishing returns and logarithmic regression remain, absolutely. All right. Putin defends Ukraine invasion while marking World War II victory.
What?
During a military parade in Moscow on Monday, Russian President Vladimir Putin addressed his troops fighting in neighboring Ukraine. You're fighting for the motherland, for its future, so that no one forgets the lessons of the Second World War. And at this point here, with this, it's very apparent that, he's not backing down from what's going on there. We've certainly reached the level of fatigue. Am I right here? Mm-hmm. We reached the level of fatigue with this in the media. And what's interesting? I think if we go back to the Iraq war, I think it probably took much longer to get to the fatigue. But because of our attention span as humans gets smaller with every TikTok video we watch, I think now, like just a couple months is already fatigue of something like this. We don't know how this is going to play into the future of the world. I mean, somebody was telling me that they were trying to see that it looks like they're trying to pull us into the United States into what's going on over there right now. I think actually the president is over there right now, I believe. Is that correct? Well, yeah, Joe Biden is the president. You're correct. First Lady Joe Biden visits. Joe Biden visits. First Lady makes a surprise visit. Oh, you said Jill.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Jill, BJ. Oh, Jill Biden is over there. The wife of Joe Biden. I didn't even know this was the First Lady. How about that? Never seen her before. Joe Biden visits Ukraine, marking her first solo trip to a combat zone as a First Lady. So she's over there right now. So Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, was demanding, or prime minister, whatever his title is, was demanding that Biden come over there, and he sent his wife instead. So good job, Joe. Look, I personally, I'll be honest with you. You guys know I'm not his biggest fan. I would certainly not begrudge him for not wanting to go over there right now. Where is safe in Ukraine right now?
But what does it say if you feel unsafe, so you send your wife?
Fair point. I would not send my wife for sure. Let me get that message straight.
Yeah, okay.
I would definitely not send my wife if I wasn't willing to go. It'd be the opposite. I would go 100 times over before I would send my wife over there.
Right.
But I think, especially if they're in Kyiv, that's a dangerous place right now. You never know what can happen. They've got a lot of those missiles firing off and stuff like that. But kind of also in the world, we got Argentina to shut down crypto activities to attain a $45 billion loan from the IMF. The IMF is holding people hostage. They are holding countries hostage. We looked at El Salvador. They said, El Salvador, we're not going to give you loans. And El Salvador said, F off. We don't care.
Yeah. We don't
Argentina, we see a little more centralization of power over there. They are looking to play ball with the IMF. And so they are now holding the International Monetary Fund, holding Bitcoin, holding crypto activities against you as leverage for them to potentially, to give you a loan. So John Drunkentell says, finally made a BitBoy live chat. Let's go. Still crypto. I like it. Let's go. Still crypto, guys. Still crypto all day, every day. That's all we do here is talk crypto. We're talking about plans and what to do. And, I think this is something just kind of put some stuff in perspective for you guys. Conversation TJ and I were having, it sucks when you look at your value go down. Our portfolio, our crypto only portfolio, down 60% probably about 60%. It sucks. I don't even look at it anymore. But here's the big perspective. I go back 4 years ago and I look at where my life was and what I owned and what was mine. And I fast forward to now, 4 years later, and all the real assets that we have compared to, I had nothing then. So much better. That's the power of that long-term mindset. That's the power of being patient, waiting out a bear market. We're going to have 20 times what we had at the beginning, much more than 20. We're going to have 100 times more than what I had at the beginning of the last bull run for this bull run setup. So that's why it's a long game. You can't let your day, I talked about how fun it was coaching baseball on Saturday. We got second place in the tournament. That's why I didn't tweet about it more. We lost. It was bad. We lost. We allowed 3 runs in the first 2 games and 1 error. We had 9 errors and 11 runs in the first inning of the championship game. It was just one of those innings where nothing went right. And then they were also crushing the ball too, and hitting the foul, like hitting the line, and bouncing in fair. So, anyways, this is one of those. But I made this comment like, don't let your portfolio ruin your day. Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy your life. Don't let your portfolio dictate your mood. That's what the markets want. Because when you're feeling emotional, you make bad financial decisions. So the United States turns its attention to stablecoin regulations that we've been telling you for over a year is going to happen. The U.S. continues to be the global leader in regulating and embracing the crypto industry, but the Stablecoin Trust Act may act as a barrier for newcomers. The United States continues to be a global leader in embracing crypto. Thanks to Senator Patrick Toomey, who brought crypto regulation. Last year, Joe Biden signed a $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, including regulation that would impact crypto. More recently, the government announced that they were going to be, figuring out who's going to be in charge of what. But the Stablecoin Transparency of Reserves and Uniform Safe Transactions Act, they had to start with the word trust and work backwards, right?
Yeah.
Right. They didn't say, oh, let's just name it the Transparency of Reserves and Uniform Safe Transactions Act. And then, it spells trust.
No.
That's imagine being in that meeting. Like, how silly of a meeting would that be? Anyways, dubbed the Stablecoin Trust Act for short, makes the U.S. likely the only country, or at least the only Western country, to fully regulate and accept stablecoins as an official part of the financial and banking system. Now, to be clear here, where I land on stablecoin regulation, I think we do need stablecoin regulation to an extent. Look at what's happening with UST right now. You have to be able to remain to your peg, or else it becomes a volatile asset, and a lot of people are going to get hurt.
But I guess my thing is, you think it's the government's job to hold things to their peg?
Yes, if a business is operating inside of their country. Yeah, I think so.
I just don't trust them to do it anymore.
Well, I don't trust them either. Don't hear me wrong here. Where I really fall off with this, like, look, there needs to be a way that the government can check and say, oh yeah, this place really does actually have $3 billion.
Sure.
They need to be able to verify it with an audit. Like, you agree with that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't think
maintaining the peg is a much trickier issue.
Yeah.
It's a much bigger, but they do need to be able to verify that they actually have what they say that they have. I mean, that is one of the few crypto regulation points that I do think is necessary.
Yeah, it should be transparent and verifiable. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't think it should be the U.S. government's job to say.
Well, I think it should be any government where a business sets up inside of its walls should be able to determine whether or not that is a viable business.
Sure.
From an investor standpoint. So I don't think it's just the United States. I think every country, if a stablecoin company is working within your borders, you need to be able to verify that the funds are there to keep those pegs.
Mm-hmm.
So, but here's where I separate is that's not what they care about.
No.
Like, that's not the goal of any of this. The goal of this is to crush stablecoin companies to get them to where they're not able to offer staking rewards. That's what this will all wrap around to be. So the goal of why they're doing this is purely to keep government bonds on the up and up, and to keep banks in business who offer 0.01% interest when you go get 8% interest on a stablecoin, or 18% with UST. I'd be really interested to see what that 18% over the past week looks like.
I think a lot of it is to also trying to get control over these exchanges the same way they have controls over banks. So there's no bank that will deny them records, information, or anything they ask them for, basically, that they can provide. I think they're trying to get the same grip on these stablecoin companies, and et cetera.
Yeah. So let's see here what they actually say. So Toomey actually introduced this bill. It would the acts or the regulations are sweeping and comprehensive, clarifies payments. Stablecoins are not securities, so that's actually bullish. That's good. Stablecoins are not securities, so that's good. It also refers to stablecoins as payment stablecoins. Digital assets can be convertible directly to fiat currency, and that have a stable value relative to fiat. So they're giving definitions, working definitions to stablecoin. Stablecoin issuers would have to choose between securing the office of the comptroller of the currency license, a state money transmitter, or similar license, or a traditional bank charter. So they're opening this up for banks, is what this is. So like once again, I don't trust our government to do anything correct. Okay. But if there were a utopian government that like did things correct, I agree with most of this. I think that really you would want them to have a license if they're going to have billions of dollars in stable coins. You're going to want them to have a money transmitter license. But obviously them introducing a bank charter, this is to get the banks involved in the stablecoin game, which is for purely their own gain.
Well, let's see what, go ahead.
Stablecoin issuers operating in the U.S. would be subject to a disclosure regime. So now here, what were you going to say, TJ?
I was going to say it'll be real interesting to see what this next paragraph says about the CBDC.
Yeah, because this is interesting here. With the discussion draft of the bill circulating and garnering feedback, I beg the question, this is an op-ed here, if the act becomes laws, would the U.S. government still need to develop a CBDC or what some call a digital dollar? Well, this is what, I came up with this all on my own. I said years ago, USDC would be the stablecoin of the United States, USDC.
USDC.
The Coinbase dollar is going to be the digital dollar. So yes, there will be a digital dollar, but there's no need to reinvent the wheel. So I think what we might see is all these banks get their own stable coins, then USDC kind of rise to the top here.
Yeah. Which if USDC becomes the number one stable coin, it puts a lot more buying pressure on the dollar as all these assets move over.
Look at this. Here it is. Here it is. The stablecoin, man, I tell you, have we nailed this or what? We've been telling you this for over a year on this channel.
Yeah.
The Stablecoin Trust Act regulates what assets can back their USD stablecoins, which would be cash, where interest rates are incredibly low, and treasury bills where interest rates aren't much better. This poses a major problem to both current stablecoin issuers and future players, is they won't be able to earn higher interest from riskier assets. Right now, certain stablecoin issuers back most of their tokens by higher paying commercial papers, which cannot be evaluated without more transparency and an audit. According to USDT stablecoin issuer Tether, 65% of their reserves were backed by commercial papers, only 4% were backed by cash, 3% were backed by T-bills. Therefore, Tether and other stablecoin providers will have to completely change the composition of their reserves, fall in line with the Stablecoin Trust Act if it becomes law. Now, why are you earning such big returns on staking your stablecoins? Because they're able to take their funds and invest it into higher yielding rewards and then disperse that back to you. That's what's going on. You look at how Celsius does it. They're getting money on loans that they're lending out in Bitcoin, and they're taking that money and they're dispersing it throughout these different accounts. This is the beginning of how they're going to cap these interest rates on staking. This is what is coming. So it is very fascinating.
Well, and it also puts huge buy pressure on the treasury bills. If they're saying they're requiring them to hold treasury
3%.
bonds, yeah, and billions of dollars go back into treasuries, which is what they need.
You think the March 2020 affected the blow off top for this past cycle, and the November all-time high should have been a dead cat bounce? I think the November all-time high basically could have been a dead cat bounce, but I would say the March 2020 drop actually helped Bitcoin. I think it got higher than it would have because it led to the money printing. So, and I always said, I thought this could be the worst bear market ever. I said this many times last year. I don't think I believe that right now because we didn't get to the peaks, but I was basing that on the fact that for the first time, we're going to see deflation occurring while Bitcoin is in a bear market, as opposed to inflation occurring while Bitcoin was in a bull market. So, Utah, by the way, is going to create a blockchain digital innovation task force. So Utah moving towards the blockchain. So Utah not big on caffeine, really big on blockchain. Do you know they don't have Starbucks and
they don't, because it's Mormon. No alcohol either.
Yeah, they have soda shops. Very interesting. I've never been to Salt Lake City. I'd like to go sometime. But don't try to convert me. Instagram to support NFTs from. I'm just kidding. We love the people. NFTs from Ethereum, Solana, and others. So this is really big news that came out over the weekend here. Reports have emerged that Instagram could be integrating NFTs as early as Monday. Have they done it that quick?
That's what I heard.
Wow.
They've been working on it for a while. I saw the announcement.
I mean, is it live today?
I don't know.
I didn't see it when I went in there.
But I didn't look.
No, so many people have been trying to get me into this cult DAO. I'm just not interested in it. I mean, it sounds like it might be legit, possibly. The dog, not the cat, but the dog has been telling me about this one for a while. But I'm just not getting into any of these super small coins, especially right now. So they say it's not a meme coin. It actually is like I don't know, some kind of backbone for DAOs. I don't know exactly what it is, but a lot of people talk about it. I'm probably not going to start.
I don't think now's the time for DAOs.
And I thought you said deflation would start in May. Well, we actually said towards the end of last year we should have started seeing it, and we are seeing it now. I mean, deflation takes a while to kick in. How long is the period of deflation? Is it going to be years? Is it going to be a recession? Is it going to be 1 year? I don't know. But guys, that's the whole point of why they're trying to bring down the inflation rates. It's deflation, right? Like to get from a much higher rate of inflation to a much lower, or even flip that into reverse to where you do have full-blown deflation. It takes deflating the prices and valuing the dollar. We're the only channel telling you it might be good to be in dollars this year. Now, find another channel that said that. Just find one other one.
I did confirm it launched today, but it was
did.
select creators. So it's not rolled across the whole platform. They're just piloting.
Got it. Grant Gustavson says meet and greet in Utah. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll go for a ski trip or something next year.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. Definitely not a snowboarding trip for me. I'll never snowboard again. It was a disaster. I almost died. But pilot comes almost 2 months after Zuckerberg announced that Instagram would add NFTs. So this has actually launched for some beta, in beta for some users. Meta stepping up crypto regulation. Still, that continues to be one of the most fascinating things going on in the space for sure. We have Snoop Dogg and Gary Vee, the latest to buy Ethereum ownership NFTs, and Ice Cube's Big Three. Hooply, did you hear about this where you can own a team by buying an NFT?
No. Interesting.
Somebody bought Snoop Dogg teamed up with PayPal co-founder to buy all the 25 tier editions of the Big Three team Bivouac. So I guess they own the team now. Gary Vee got involved. Bought the triplets, Ice Cube's Big Three League. I just don't know where I stand on this Ice Cube Big Three League. I've tried to watch it. It does have some pretty interesting players in there. Some older players that have not played in the league in a while are in there. But it's just, I don't know. It's pretty fun. It's just hard to bring on a new sport and expect it to get the kind of traction that a major league sports league gets. It's tough. So, but I was thinking about this, ownership, how it's tied to NFTs and DAOs. Very interesting stuff. So, go ahead.
No, did we ever talk to those the Bronco DAO guys?
No, I did. I was an advisor for them. Or I am.
It just didn't. They didn't get it, or what happened?
They released a big tweet, I think, over the weekend saying that basically it wasn't going to happen the way they want it, but they're still going to be pursuing other ways to own a team. And
gotcha.
Let's pull it up. Let's see if we can pull up the tweet real quick. The guy who started that is a genius. Like he's a Broncos fan, and he knew what he was doing. He also knew what he was up against here, but let's see here. It's an awesome initiative by the Broncos. May 6th. What's today? The 9th. I think they put it out. First of all, we would like to deeply thank everyone for their patience and sticking around with us over the past few months. Or the past while, we've been working behind the scenes, making inroads to maximize our chance to own a piece of the Denver Broncos as a fan base. For example, we're currently in various stages of working with a handful of the groups that have already submitted formal bids. Please stay tuned. We will update you soon on developments, including strategic partnerships in both the Web3 and sporting worlds. The website should be live in less than 10 days, and an early release of the NFT tokens will be available to you. So please spread the word. Let's show the world how Broncos country does it. So long and the short of it, and when I say it's not like it's over, they're morphing what they're doing at this point. Now they're trying to work with people that have already submitted more formal bids. Look, there was no way the NFL was going to allow this. Now,
right.
The weird thing about it was this is an estate sale, so technically it's supposed to go to the highest bidder. It's not a normal NFL team sale. But, I definitely advised them. I told them, I said, look, if this doesn't work to be able to have your full-on team, like you are the owner, like try to get a minority ownership or try to move on. Like what's another team? Like it started with by the Broncos. The guy's a Broncos fan. But like the idea of owning a sports team decentralized is so cool. Mm-hmm. You're going to have all the people behind you that want to do that. And the team isn't necessarily the most important thing in doing this. It's to break the structure and disrupt the system. It's things we love. So there you go. There's your update on By the Broncos. LFG, which is
here
the
it is.
Terra Foundation,
Mhm.
to deploy 1.5 billion to bolster UST peg and build BTC reserves. It didn't work, by the way, over the weekend. Me the chart pullback across Bitcoin. Luna Foundation Guard is set to deploy 1.5 billion worth of crypto capital to protect Terra's UST peg. And I tell you, we already looked at this chart earlier and saw that it is down significantly. Could this be the beginning of Terra falling back to earth in terms of relative to its ranking on CoinMarketCap?
Mm-hmm. Definitely could be.
I mean, to me, Terra is, look, I don't want to get hate from the Terra people, and I like Do Kwon, right? Terra is not significantly better than other platforms, in my opinion. I mean, it's good. It's got a lot of people backing it. It's got a good leader. It's got a lot of things that you want. But I don't think, Terra Luna is, I don't think it's the end all be all in crypto. Like a lot of the people behind it believe it is. I think it's just another one of these great projects. Yeah. And so usually what we see is these things cycle through, they peak and then they kind of fall back to earth a little bit. We've seen it with Cardano. We've seen it with Polygon. We've seen it with, Binance Coin. We've seen a lot of this. Binance Coin still, is held very well. It's got a lot of infrastructure behind it. But, I think we could see, the price is definitely going to go down. Everything's going down. All prices are going down. Very interested to see where it falls in CoinMarketCap, because I look at Terra and I say, top 10 coin?
Yeah.
Top 20 coin? I think so.
Yeah. Top 50 coin, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah. That's how I think. So I do think Terra's got a lot of potential, but I also think Cardano's got a lot of potential.
Yeah. I think probably part of what gets it so much attention is it's just doing something different. They're doing something different with their stable coin, and now we're starting to see it be tested. And anytime somebody tries something new, there's no guarantee it works. So if they hold through this, I think it strengthens their story. But I do agree it brings them back down to reality.
Someone says that Tether, let me go back real quick, said at some point Tether went down to 80%.
Oh, yeah, Tether's had issues before.
Tether's definitely had issues. It went down to 99.5 recently, but let's go to the monthly chart. Yeah, I mean, Tether certainly has had issues for sure, but, since it launched, this would have been in December of 2021, it went up to $1.18. It's never been to 80 cents, just so we're clear. The lowest Tether has ever been is 98.6 cents. That's pretty close to $1. Pretty close. It's not 80 cents. So, and Tether's got a lot of issues. So the fact it's been able to hold that tough is definitely saying something. All right, speaking of Cardano, adds over 70 smart contracts a week as more developers on board the blockchain. That's what we want to see. We want to see more use case for Cardano. Here's the Plutus scripts we've seen on the network deployed. So up pretty considerably over the last year. I think Cardano ecosystem is going to be a very good and vibrant ecosystem. By the way, I had the suggestion to put hashtag Cardano and hashtag XRP in my bio. These are my top 4 coins right here, guys, for sure. I mean, these are my top 4 coins by a long shot. Anything else, I fit under there, fits in special categories. Like, what do I like really now? Sandbox. I love Sandbox. It's a good one. But do I love Sandbox enough to put it in my profile? I don't know. These are the only 4 coins I like enough to put in my profile. So there you go. Do love Cardano. Where is my ADA gang? Cardano whales are buying the dip. May not be the smartest thing. As retail interest in ADA takes unexpected turn. As of writing, it's down 75% from its all-time high. There's a huge difference between 75 cents and or 75% and 95%. Remember that. Daily RSI plunging into oversold despite the unanticipated price turmoil. Retail interest is surprisingly seems to be growing with every dip. Well, I mean, that makes sense because if you think about it, there are certain prices. Because I know somebody was waiting on 70 cents. Mm-hmm. So they waited on 70 cents and it got to like 74 and then it bounced back up. So they missed their buy. Now it dropped down below 70 cents. So now they hit their buy. So every time it hits these lower levels, people are anticipating, obviously more retail is going to buy at those points. I don't think it's a bad price to accumulate Cardano at right now. I just don't think that this is going to be the best price, the optimal price to accumulate at. But that's kind of a misnomer because when you think of accumulation kind of has a long-term kind of connotation to it, right?
Mhm.
Accumulate, to add over time. It's not like swiftly buying one dip, which, some people would make an argument. There is an argument there to be made that it's similar. But, I think probably, 50 cents is going to be a good price for Cardano. If you think it sat around 5 cents most of the bear market, I think you're going to see it at 50 cents probably, if not a little bit lower. Japan, speaking of XRP, where's XRP? Throw the X up if you are in the XRP army. We got a little XRP right here, which I don't know why we don't have Cardano on this one.
Is it not?
No, Cardano's not on this one.
Huh.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Got Algorand. I like Algorand. Not better than Cardano, though. So. Japanese e-commerce site adopts Bitcoin and XRP payments for used cars, and that's good because used car prices are out of control. SBI Motor Japan, a subsidiary of SBI Africa, has announced its customers can now make payments for used cars. Speaking of used cars, we gave away our car on Friday after the show.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So that will go on my channel.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I guess.
Sure.
We'll put that on there. That's right.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing one weekend video is going to be vlog style. You guys may have been seeing those on the Hit Network channel. We're going to bring anything that's BitBoy crypto related, like a vlog of what we do here on a weekly basis. So you'll get to see us give away that car this weekend. It was fantastic. I love giving people things and helping them. And it was definitely apparent that they needed that car. And it was...
she was shocked, too.
Oh, she was.
She had no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
Which I almost blew it on the show. I didn't realize it was a surprise until later.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Ripple price analysis, 3 times XRP increase from this level. Will it happen again? And look, there are 3 times that we've seen it hit the support. There's a strong level of support here at about 55 cents, but this just depends on Bitcoin, guys. If Bitcoin drops dramatically, we're going to see XRP drop again as well. No question about that. So there you go. Quick hits. We got Elon Musk big plans for Twitter. We can almost do a whole topic on this probably. So I hear basically long and short of it is they're going to be firing people. They're going to be adding some new features, and they're trying to increase profitability. Hermes lawsuit over Meta Birkins will move forward.
It's Hermes.
What did I say?
Her. You don't say her. It's like silent.
Hermes.
Yeah.
Hermes. An Hermes purse. Yeah. It's Caitlin Raps. She says her feature is worth more than a Hermes purse. Hermes purse. Or feature, I'll just call it that. Some people know what I'm talking about. Launch a great little collab. You know what's so cool about the world we live in today? You got this girl that just makes this TikTok video where she raps, and now she got signed to a label. She got to go on tour. Really cool stuff, you know, with Russ. You sent me the song one day.
Did I the Russ song?
Yeah, but I had known about that for like 2 months. Yeah. Because that was a TikTok trend. What it started at. So she was really, Caitlin Raps, she was really popular maybe about a year ago. She had some really good ones, and then, got her big break recently. So congratulations to her. LaunchPass NFT lets you apply for a place on a suborbital rocket. Would you like to apply for a place on my suborbital rocket, TJ?
I think I have one by default.
I think you do. Phantom looks oversold while buy signals appear. I don't know if I would go with that. And there we go. All right, that's it. We got some Q&A.
Yeah, I got distracted, but I'm pulling them right now.
That rocket got you really...
What are the possible bottom indicators other than DZ buying Link?
Bottom indicators would be, look, there are still way too many influencers, YouTubers out there that are saying we're in a bull market. That is a good sign when there's almost no one saying it's still a bull market. When the last... And people say, oh, BitBoy's a reverse indicator. When he says it's a bear market, it's definitely a bull market. Well, we've been telling you it's bear market since we're about 39,000 or so. We've been telling you that since, definitely about 35,000. We told you that in February.
Well,
so not a great indicator to counter trade me because we stick with the cycles in history. We don't go off of feelings and thinking things are going to be different this time.
Really, in the 40s, we were saying it feels a lot like a bear market.
Basically, the end of January is when we realized we were off track from where we thought we were going to be. And it started setting in slowly but surely that we are in a bear market.
So quick, I know it's long answer, but Phil Merlig asking, what is the ETH merge?
The ETH merge is where ETH is going to go from ETH to ETH 2.0. It's going to go on to the main chain. This will be where you have validator nodes. And the long and the short of it is this. You get you're moving from mining, which is proof of work, to proof of stake, which is verifying transactions motivated by people that hold a lot of Ethereum. That's a very easy way to think about it. And also, this is the big thing is this makes ETH more deflationary than it was. So it goes from every year we were getting about a 4.3% increase in the amount of Ethereum in the overall supply. That number's dropping 90%. It's going to go down to 0.4% per year. It's going to take 10 years now to bring in the same amount of Ethereum that you were getting per year. When you think about supply and demand, that should increase the price dramatically over a couple year period.
Next question. Do you think eGold, VeChain, Engine, and Doc can survive and still be alive after this bear market?
Well, we haven't taken a look at Doc in a long time.
Yeah.
I really like Doc as a competitor to VeChain. But I can say with confidence, eGold, VeChain, and Engine will still be around.
Yep. That was
with confidence.
That was my exact same assessment. From Buckslayer 4x4 Super Chat, if Bitcoin drops to 28K in the next month or so, what percentage of my profits, say I have 50K profit, sitting in USDC should go into Bitcoin or layer ones?
80%.
80%?
I think at 28K.
Yeah.
I think at 28K, the risk versus reward, if it goes down to 24, 27, 22, you still got some money sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
What do you feel? What's the number you think?
That's tough. Yeah.
You think that's too much at 28K?
No, because I tend to feel the same way where like under 28, just pile in, because I agree there's not a big difference between 28 and, I mean, there is, but 22, 21, but trying to time that bottom, I tend to think whatever that lowest number is going to be a flash.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to time. So yeah, I would put most of it is what I would say, over 50%.
Here's a question. If you miss it, if it goes to 28, you put 80% in and it bounces back up, where do you pile the last 20% in on the way back up?
Yeah. 32. Yeah. That's the question.
Yeah. That might be the trickier part. So something to think about.
All right. Next, and this is a big one since we talked about CRO so much, because we had talked about that being our number one accumulation in the bear market, but do you think CRO could recover once everything takes off again, given that they made major changes in their card staking and cash back rewards?
Look, the people that do the card staking is a very small percentage of the overall Crypto.com customer base. And what I would say about that is this. Crypto.com is setting itself up to be the number one lobbyist in the United States for crypto. So, read between the tea leaves there and look at their $800 million partnership with Stables Center for the naming rights. Remember this. Crypto.com bought the URL Crypto.com in 2018 for $12 million. People said they were ridiculous, idiotic for spending that much. They did an $800 million partnership with friggin' Staples.
Yeah, who knows what they paid to be title sponsor of Formula One.
Exactly. So Crypto.com is going to be around. They are fighting back any heat that they're getting. I have all the confidence in the world in Crypto.com to be one of the top coins in the future.
All right. And last question. We talked about this a little bit last week. What your price prediction for Ethereum would be? I know you said 2,200 is a decent buy.
Down there almost.
But if BTC is 27K or lower.
1,800.
18.
Yeah, 1,800.
My number's between 14 and 18. I don't know.
I don't think it's not going to go back below previous all-time highs.
I don't think so either.
What was it? 1414 was the previous all-time high. So,
but I would put 18 is a very similar number that I had to. Yeah. And actually for Cardano, I was looking at like 35.
Good for sure. Good for sure.
Yeah, that's all the questions.
Well, there was one other question.
Okay.
Just real quick. If we had a Kentucky Derby racehorse, what would it be? What's the name?
Horse race name. BJ Quick.
BJ Quick. Oh, I like that. That's a good one. There we go. I can't top that. Okay. All right, guys. That's all we got for today. Look, relax, calm down, have some fun today. We're going to make a ton of money in crypto. And look, remember, it's the dark times that make the light times all the more worth it. All right, guys. That's all I got. Be blessed.